Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Gurudeva ki jai, Shri Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Param Gurudeva ki jai, Samasta Brajavasi Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Samasta Saki Manjari Ganna ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, dear friends, dear devotees. Today is Vijaya Ekadasi, very special occasion. Ekadasi is the mother of Bhakti. People think Ekadasi is a time, but Ekadasi is a personality. When Krishna appears, we don't think, oh, that's the time. It's the appearance of that time. No, it's the appearance of Krishna at that time. And so with Ekadasi, we should never think Ekadasi is a time. Ekadasi day is the time that the personality of Ekadasi Devi appears. She is the expansion of Swarup Shakti, Srimati Radhika. Swarup Shakti meaning the Lord's internal potency of love. And that love manifests every 2 weeks in this world as Ekadasi Devi, the goddess of devotion, who grants us entrance into Bhakti. A lot of people think Ekadasi is a time, and it's a time where we have to fast and do penance. Unless we can understand Ekadasi is a personality that we can serve and take shelter of, that and will be like our mother, then how will we advance? Why? Why is she our mother? Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. This is the declaration of our scripture. Ekadasi Devi is Bhakti Janani. She is the mother of Bhakti. Therefore, is it important or not? It's okay. It's fine. So Ekadasi is Bhakti Janani. That means the mother or the birthplace of Bhakti. Nowadays also many people say there's no need to follow Ekadasi. There's other lines that say you can just chant Radhe Radhe. No need to follow Ekadasi. These things are all related to the body. You can eat garlic and onion. What's the harm? You can eat fish and chicken and goat. What's the harm? Just chant Radhe Radhe. This is a lack of understanding of our Siddhanta, our spiritual philosophy. On one hand, we want to say Radhe Radhe on one side. And on the other side, we want to exploit her energy and disturb other living entities. Radharani appears as an incarnation. All the Shakti or goddess incarnations come from Sri Radha. So Ekadasi Devi is a Shakti incarnation. And there are 24 swarups or forms of that Ekadasi Devi that come generally in the year, and in the leap year, Purushottam year, there are 2 extras, Padama Ekadasi and so forth. So what is the use of saying Radhe Radhe and at the same time saying, oh, I want to eat Radhe, I want to disturb Radhe, I want to abuse, exploit her energy which is manifest in this world? Therefore Ekadasi teaches us how to live righteously, dharmically, without having a nature of only exploiting the world and disturbing others. So, your Radhe Radhe has no integrity without taking shelter of and understanding the glories of Ekadashi. Otherwise, this all becomes sahajiya. Sahajiya means cheap imitation, taking things for granted. Just because Radharani is very sweet, we think, yes, I can take all of my nonsense with me and go to the spiritual world, and what happens then? You don't go to the spiritual world. With that kind of mentality, you can go to Braj in this world that manifests and become a demon. Krishna is so sweet, Radharani is so sweet, Braj is so sweet, I want to be there. I don't want to follow Ekadashi. I want to eat fish and goat and chicken. No rules and regulation. I will go in, many beautiful gopis. I will also kidnap them like Sankachud. Krishna has 1,000,000. I can have 100. Many Babajis do like this. In the past, it was seen. I'm not criticizing, but this is our history. Krishna has 1,000,000 gopis. I will take 100 or 200. Household life, so much austerity and dharma, rules and regulation. Parakya is good. I will enjoy so many widows and give them my shelter. This is all demonic philosophy. Radhe Radhe, you're chanting Radhe Radhe like Ravan chanted Sita Sita. Ravan was sitting in his room going Sita, Sita, Sita. And we are saying Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Demons. No respect. No veneration. Our Brahma Gayatri, we say Varinyam. We venerate you. We honor you. We worship you. We respect you. Then we can enter the pathway to get to the doorway of bhakti. We have not even entered into the realm of bhakti. But we are praying that we can follow the pathway to come close to the door. And then when we get to the door, you knock. And the answer can come, who are you? What would you like? Let me in. Who are you? I am a demon. Can I come inside? I want to be in Braj. What do I want to do? Sometimes I will be Keshi demon, and I will kick Balaram and Madhumangal and Subal. Sometimes, when I'm not happy with that pastime, I will be Bakasura, and I will pretend to do bhajan, and at any opportunity I will swallow and gobble up whatever facility is there to enjoy. Bakasura demon represents, for those who don't know the story, you can study it. It's in Krishna's pastimes. He's a crane demon who showed himself to be a great ascetic. And later he tried to swallow Krishna and kill Krishna. And we hear from the sadhus, what does the crane do? Very clean, very wide, very peaceful like a sage. And it'll stand on one foot like it's doing austerities, like a yoga asana. And when a fish comes next to it, it'll swallow it. It'll attack it and gobble it up. And so sadhus, outside I am sadhu. Sadhu, people will worship me, give me donations, honor me. But I'm not sadhu, I am swadhu. Swadhu means I am gobbling up whatever I can enjoy. So, knock knock, door of bhakti. Who are you? I am a demon. Let me in. Then Yoga Maya Devi says what? First take bath. No problem. You don't know who you are. You are a demon, but your soul is not a demon. Your soul is part and parcel of Krishna and Sri Radha. Your soul is Vibhinangsa Tattva. That means a part and parcel of the absolute truth. Not separate. But you are covered now with Maya. By your false ego, by your pride, by illusion, by misdirected consciousness, and misfortune, you could say. So you have to take bath. Kamsa, he wanted to enter Vrindavan. He sent so many demons, and they all failed. Why? Because Vrindavan is protected. So even if demons come there, they're just like a sweet pastime. Oh, Krishna, he killed Aghasura. And then Aghasura's soul entered into his lotus feet. Sweet pastime. The demigods were watching from the sky and showering flowers. And Lord Brahma thought, how astonishing, this 12-mile long demon Aghasura. All the cowherd boys entered his mouth. And then he closed his mouth and he was going to swallow them all. But Krishna had come inside and Krishna became very hot. And then, he delivered that demon from his external condition of suffering. And then the pure soul came out as a light and entered Krishna's lotus feet. Then this is a very beautiful, sweet pastime. So no demons can harm Braj. Jai, just starting, perfect. You can take a seat and be comfortable. Take an asan. Radhe, Radhe. Here. So, this is not the process to enter Braj. Ravan chanted, Sita, 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 Sita. And people are chanting, Radhe, 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 Radhe. And Radharani is telling, Krishna, 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 Krishna. You understand? Krishna, please, I don't want to go to this material world. When Krishna asked her to come to this world, he said, better not. You go, have fun. Many Ravins are in this world. Ravan, he was there before Treta Yuga. And he tried to kidnap me. He kidnapped my shadow form. Original Sita form was not touched. This is in the Ramayana. The shadow Sita was Maya Swarup taken. Rather, he said, I don't want to go to that world again. No need, I'm happy here in our spiritual realm. Here are no demons. Only liberated souls come here, completely beyond all material desires. In that world, Ravan is chanting, Sita, Sita, Sita. And many demons will chant Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. And Radharani will say, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. No, no, no. Not so easy. You cannot go buy Radharani in the store. She's not a doll. First understand the nature of the supreme potency of the Lord and develop veneration. I venerate you, then I can go forward. So don't knock on the door of bhakti and say, let me in. And then if you don't get immediate response, don't get a battering ram and try to knock down the door. You're not letting me in. In this world, the scripture says, Jiva, Jivasya, Jivanam. One living entity is food for another. Jivo, Jivasya, Jivanam. One living entity or Jiva is food for another. And this is what we know. Since time immemorial, we know this philosophy. How to exploit, how to eat others. People get very disgusted when they see cannibals or they hear of cannibals. Oh, it's very disgusting, very horrifying. In some places you go in the world and they'll say, oh, welcome, welcome. Come into our village. Very ripe plum. Very ripe peach. Georgia peach. Will be excellent peach cobbler. It's horrible, yes? This is what the whole universe is doing. Jivo, Jivasya, Jivanam. Everything is my food. Everything is for me to enjoy. Radhe, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe. What do I want to do? Enjoy Radharani. Enjoy Shakti. Yes. Therefore, this anartha, Ravan anartha, must be uprooted. We are followers of Radha Dasyam, service, not bhog, enjoyment. So this brings me to the second half of the topic, which I'll try to make more sweet. Ekadasi Devi is mother. Guru is also like mother, but that energy comes from the original potency of that motherly affection. So that comes ultimately from Shakti, Shakti Matora Beda, Radha-Krishna. There's a verse that glorifies Mahaprabhu. So Shakti, Shakti Matora Beda means Radha-Krishna, they cannot be divided. So in their undivided form, they are Gauranga Mahaprabhu. When they appear in two form to experience their love and pastimes, then they are Radha-Krishna. And when they come in one form, they are Mahaprabhu. So that mood of love of a mother originates from God. God is the father and the mother. This is described in Gita. Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. God is the father, God is the mother, God is the grandfather, God is our source. Don't think of it only in a limited way. God is my mother, my father, how's it possible? God is our origin. He is our source, the ontological source of all existence, the sun of all life. Every particle of light is part of that original source of the supreme light, the Godhead, which is His effulgence, and we are part of His essence. So He is our source. So that love comes from Radha-Krishna, and in their combined form they are Mahaprabhu. And there's a beautiful verse glorifying Mahaprabhu, Vatsalya Matri Koti, which means Mahaprabhu has the love of 10 million mothers. Isn't that beautiful? People think, Mahaprabhu, how is it possible he has a love of 10 million mothers? He's a man. Maybe you could say fathers, but mothers? But the bhav, or the mood, is Shakti. Therefore, in the most authorized verses glorifying Mahaprabhu, he is described as being the embodiment of the mood and the effulgence of Sri Radha. Therefore it is stated, Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Nomi Gaura Swarupam. That Gaura's form is the form of Srimati Radhika's love, her mood, and her effulgence. So that is the love of 10 million mothers. That love manifests in different forms for our benefit. Following? One of those important forms is Ekadasi Devi. That is the love. But mother's love and lover's love is different. Mother's love is very helpful for those who are in great need. Lover's love, we are not on that platform. Ekadasi Devi is mother, Bhakti Janani. You can aspire for lover's love, but without mother's love, you are not born. You have no birth without mother's love. You can find the toughest guys out there in the world. Most of them will have some little spot in their heart for their mom. You find some really tough, rough sailors, they'll have a little tattoo, and what will it say? Mom. So even if you want to be a tough guy, no problem, that's not a problem. But you should have some room in your heart for your mother. And for us, Vaisnavas, that is Ekadasi Devi. So Vaishnavas here, Prabhuji is very merciful. He's published a book talking about each of the forms of our mother, Ekadasi Devi. Never say, oh, Ekadasi, it's Ekadasi. It's the appearance of Ekadasi Devi. And one of the desires, or the special manobishta, heartfelt desires of Prabhuji, the Vaishnavas, is that we should learn about our family. For those who want to enter this spiritual family, we should learn about God's family. Learn about the nature and the forms of Ekadasi Devi. Then learn about the associates of Mahaprabhu. That's one of the next services we have in publications Lord Nityananda's glories, all the Chosati Mahanta, the 64 prominent associates of Lord Nityananda and Mahaprabhu, all their glories. There's so many glories. You don't want to learn about your family? You want to enter a family without learning about any of your relatives. Knocking on the door, trying to bang it down. Let me in, Braj. I am number one demon. Guru Puja finished?
Yes, sir.
Jai. Finished, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Good. Haribol. So we should learn about our family. So Ekadashi Devi is mother. Jatane Palana Kori, if you follow properly, Krishna Basati Vasati Boli, she will give birth to Krishna in your heart. Do you not want that? She will bring the appearance of Krishna in your heart. That is Bhakti Janani. She will reveal God in your heart so that you can see them. See Krishna directly. So, therefore you should follow very carefully. Jatane Palana Kori. With care. Generally people think caring only means being nice or looking after somebody. Care means with proper respect, caution, honor. That is care. So Jatane Palana Kori, follow this with care. Krishna Vasati, Krishna resides within Ekadashi. Ekadashi manifests from Krishna's transcendental senses. And she has that love. Another form of that love comes in the form of Guru. You can give seat, Haribo. But what is Guru saying? Follow Ekadashi. Chant Harinam. Become a devotee. What does it mean to be a Bhakta? Not a Bhokta. In the name of Bhakti, we follow Bhukti, which means how to enjoy. And in the name of being a Bhakta, we are a Bhokta, which means an enjoyer. Therefore, Jatane Palana Kori, take shelter of the mother of devotion and follow carefully so that you can enter into the realm of Bhakti. So that when you knock on the door, the answer is, who are you? And you knock on the door and the answer comes, who are you? And you can say, I am aspiring to be a servant of 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 the dust of the lotus feet of all of your associates, dear Krishna, of all of your transcendental family members. May I have a chance to enter into the realm of bhakti and become a sweeper on the pathway. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he published 100 books in many languages. He was a great scholar, renowned throughout India, and he established a revolution of bhakti. He was called Bhakti Bhagirat, which is a very high honor. Bhagirat is the one who brought the Ganga to this world by his prayers. Without the Ganga, we have no culture in Bharat. She is the source of our spiritual culture. Ganga Devi, the manifestation of the water that has washed the feet of God himself in the spiritual world, comes into this world as Ganga, brought by Bhagirat. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the Bhagirat who brought bhakti again into this world. Understand his glories. And then you know what he said? My only aspiration is to be a sweeper in the marketplace of the holy name. That's all I aspire for. Because that is the highest aspiration. Because that is the glory of the spiritual world and their associates of Krishna. Such was his humility. Pattiyache namahatta jivera karan, the marketplace of the holy name, where all living entities with the price of faith can enter the spiritual world, has been opened. And he says, oh, may I become the sweeper of that transcendental service abode. So, Vatsalya Matri Koti. Unless we can understand that love of Ekadasi Devi, that love of Guru and Vaishnavas, however it may come, that mother's love is needed. Sometimes mother has to give a bath to the child when it doesn't know how to clean itself. You're knocking on the door of Bhakti and you want to enter, but unless you give up your demonic tendency, you cannot enter. Or if you force your way, you'll just be a demon. So therefore, when it comes to try to enter Braj, Guru, Purnamasi, who is the Guru in Braj, Purnamasi Yogamaya, she's Krishna's sister, energy. Oh, you want to enter Braj, Kamsa? Yes, just take bath here in this pond. And she gave him a bath in the pond, and he came out. Then he looked like Kundalata. Very beautiful. Very old. No offense. Very beautiful, very sweet old lady. Bath is necessary. So we pray to Guru and Vaishnavas also, please. The last class we gave, we were talking about Abhishek. So this is the sequel to that class, and we're talking about Abhishek for ourselves. How can we get Abhishek? How can we take bath? Otherwise, bathing Radha-Krishna, bathing Guru, bathing Mahaprabhu, we pray that they will also bathe us, purify our material nature and tendencies and desire. This is very important, bath. Lord Chaitanya spoke about the power and the glory of the holy name in his first verse, Shikshastakam. In the last part of that verse, the finale, you know what he says? How can we take complete bath? Sarvatma snapanam. Not a partial bath. Complete body, mind, words, actions, desires, intentions, and our soul. Then, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, we can understand the glory, relish the glory of Krishna's names. So this has been my meditation. Real Guru, and I'm reflecting upon my experience with Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Vaishnavas here. Sometimes it's hard to understand their instructions because it may not cater to your desires or what you think is good for you or your ego states. But I can say in my life genuinely that if you wait, if you're patient, if you have some respect, see them as your mother, and that they embody the spirit of the love of 10 million mothers. Why 10 million? How many mothers are there in the world? If you extract the essence of the pure love of a genuine, pure mother who will give up her life for her infant very happily, without any second thought, that origin of that love is coming from Bhagavan, Radha-Krishna, Mahaprabhu, and that manifests in form in this world for our benefit as Ekadasi Devi, as Tulasi Devi, and as Guru. So if they have the love of 10 million mothers within them, can they do any wrong for us? Do they have any ill will towards us? Will they cheat us? They may not please your mind and senses, but their service is to give you a bath. And hopefully, in that very sweet bath, all our material false ego and pride and illusion can be washed away. And we can emerge as pure soul, servant, and dear friend, beloved of the Supreme. Is it worthy to try to do that? Kamsa became very humbled by this in the beginning. He didn't like it. Now I'm like Kundalata. Why? Why did she give him that form? So he could become humble. We all become old. But devotees are gold. There's a story of someone who was very old who came to the temple. And people thought, oh, he didn't do anything. And Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada said, no, very good. They have taste for bhakti. Let them just sit in the temple, chant in the temple, speak to people about Krishna. This is a seva. There's nothing wrong with being old. Everyone gets old. But they are devotees. Purnamasi wanted to show Kamsa what is the nature of a devotee. Devotee is not about the external. Devotee is about the internal. You want to enter Vrindavan, but you want to enter Vrindavan to kill Krishna. That was his desire, Kamsa. Purnamasi Yogamaya said, are you ready to take a bath? She said, take a bath in this pond. You know the story. And he came out. Oh! But this is Mother's love. This is Yogamaya's love, even for someone like Kamsa. Mother loves also the naughty children. We hear in the Bible the story of the prodigal son. And the good son asks his father, why are you giving so much love and attention to the prodigal son? That means the person who went off wild into the world, did all sorts of nonsense. But then many years later, after suffering the kicks, arrows, slings, and hardships of life, crawled back to his father, poor, decrepit, skin and bones father. And the father showered him with so much love. And the good son said, I've been good for so long, you never showed me that much love. See how much he has suffered. If we do not show him love, how will he return? So it is not our philosophy that the soul is a demon, but the false ego and pride, material desires and tendency to enjoy and exploit and dominate and control in this world at the expense of all others, that creates a covering over the soul which is demonic. And anyone who thinks there aren't demonic activities being performed in the world is completely blind to reality. Anyone who thinks there's no evil going on in the world is a fool. There is great evil and there is great suffering, but this is not caused by God. It's the parts and parcels that enter this world to enjoy and exploit, and the final degree of this tendency of jivo jivasya jivanam, everything else is my food. There are people who will, it's said in the later ages of Kali Yuga, in the final times before God just has to come and reset everything, people will eat their own children. And in some places now, you can go and buy food. A dish is called mother with baby. There's a dish. Literally, the translation is mother with baby. Cooked in mother's milk. And people order that. Sorry to get a little graphic, but it's astonishing. We think in the end of Kali Yuga it will be bad because mothers will eat their babies. They have so much cruelty. This is demonic tendency. But now even worse. I will eat a mother with her baby cooked in her own broth. Very yummy. And we will have a birthday party with our mother and our kids. And that is what we order. And we chant Radhe Radhe. So mother's love means, if it is her need to purify me, may I receive her snapanam. May I be bathed by her mercy. Then it's very sweet. Very sweet. Sarvatma snapanam. Then how does the bath begin? Mahaprabhu then says, chant Krishna's names. This is very purifying. But when you chant Krishna's names, you should learn to practice the qualities of devotion that Mahaprabhu taught. He said, develop humility, develop tolerance, honor others without desiring honor. Oh, no, never. I will chant Krishna's names, but I will die before I become humble. Humility is weakness. Many people think like that. Tolerance is weakness. A tree is weak. A tree provides shade. A tree provides fruits. A tree provides air for us to breathe. We could not live without that. It's purifying everything. The trees are purifying everything, right? We would have no air that we would be able to breathe as human beings or as mammals and so forth, right? Without the mercy of and the help of the trees. Oh, trees are weak. You can just cut them down and exploit them, make them into paper, and wipe your butt with them. Am I right? Weak trees. I don't want to be like a tree. Why should I be tolerant? Trees are the most strong. It's a mentality. Don't think humility is weakness. Don't think tolerance is weakness. Don't think honoring others is weakness. There's a beautiful verse. I remember Prabhuji gave me the seva before. I would go and collect water for Mathura, sweet water, because we didn't have any sweet water in the temple. It's very salty, rough water. So for drinking water for all the devotees, I would take a rickshaw and we would have 200 liter tanks in the back of the rickshaw, and we would go 5 miles away riding the bike, fill it up, bring it back to Mathura temple, and then all the devotees could have water for a couple of days, and then we'd go again. And people would make so much fun of me. Hey, white boy, riding a rickshaw, stealing our jobs. So yeah, very good. It was seen as very culturally improper. Like, why would you be doing this lower caste work? So like the business people on the side of the road didn't like it. The other rickshaw drivers didn't like it. It's like, you're like a pretender. Yes, I have so much wealth that I can just not worry about money and live in the temple. I have shelter over my head, I have prasadam, I have a loving environment, and I'm showing that I'm doing work, riding a rickshaw like some prince. Hey, white boy. But when I would do this, I had the service of memorizing verses. And I was given the verses. There are songs that are elaborations on the moods of each verse of Shikshastakam, which is the essential instructions of Mahaprabhu. And there's a very beautiful song that corresponds to the verse Trinadapi Sunichina, where Mahaprabhu says, develop humility and tolerance, honor others without desiring honor. And if you read the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and meditate on it, it will melt your heart. One of the verses he says, Jiva na nirvahe ane udvega nadhibe parayupakara nija sukapa sharibhe. In your life, do not cause pain and suffering to any living entity. Para upakar, try to help others, giving up thoughts of your own happiness. Then he says, Dhanya dhoya animana pratishta varjan chari gune gune ha koroho kirtana. Try to develop 4 qualities: humility, compassion, honor to others, without desire for prestige. After developing these 4 qualities, you can perform kirtan. Then he says, Hoi leo sarva gune guni mahashai pratishta sachari koro amani hridai. This means, now you've developed so many good qualities, and you become a mahashai, a great person. Then you have to give up the final impediment, which is the desire to be honored and recognized as a good person even. Someone very honorable, someone very great. Pratishtasa chadi koro. Make your heart truly humble. Previous one we could say, he said, talk about humility. Danya doya animan pratishtavarjan. He already said that. Why is he repeating himself? Humility, I am able to show that I am humble. Doya, I am showing that I am compassionate, and I can embody that quality. Animan, I show by force honor to others. Pratishthavarjan, I don't have any desire for name and fame, pride. I am very fallen, I am very bogus, and I understand I am very fallen, very bogus. But when you become a Mahashai, a great person, now humility, tolerance, respect for others, freedom from pride, that is for lower class people to learn. Now I'm a Mahashai. It's my job to teach humility. It's my job to teach tolerance. It's my job to teach people to be honoring others and to not desire honor. And it's their job to honor me, to respect me, to follow me, to give me everything. And it's my job to exploit. Jivo, jivasya, jivanam. One living entity is food for another. I am cat, they are my mice. Every cat likes its mice. Oh, my little mice. That is not sadhu. Again, swadhu. Again, enjoyer. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Hoileo sarvagune. When you develop all these good qualities and become guni, qualified, and mahashai, great, then pratishtasa chadi koro. Give up any last cent of desire for recognition and honor and truly become humble. Then you hear the next songs and the next verses and you can understand Shikshastakam. So it's Ekadashi, so we're doing nice class. 9:20. Anyone needs to go? I can finish 10 minutes. I can keep going. Intermission. I want to really meditate on this because 10 million mothers' love is not a small thing. And this is not my statement. This is the glorification of Mahaprabhu, the Godhead. And that love appears in the form of Ekadashi, that love appears in the form of Guru, that love appears in the form of Tulasi, as Vaisnavas. But then people say, but they don't love me. Sometimes they're criticizing me, sometimes they're chastising me. When you get to the final stage of Shikshastakam, we see the perfection of Sharanagati, surrender. People think surrender is the introduction, surrender is the doorway to bhakti. But surrender is also the altar of bhakti, where Radha-Krishna sit. And what does Mahaprabhu say? Ashlishava padaratang pinastumam adarshanang marmahatang kurotu va yata tata vividhatu lampato mat prana natastu sa eva na paraha. I am yours. Knock, knock. Who's there? Who's there? You're knocking on the door of bhakti. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Me, demon. Demon who? Sometimes Agasura, sometimes Bakasura, sometimes Putana, sometimes Trinavarta, sometimes Kaliya. But no, surrender means I don't know who I am. I'm trying to figure it out. But I don't want to be a demon. And I want to serve, and I want to be with you. I want to love, surrender. Can you help me? Can you bring me in? Can you train me? Then what will the answer come? Okay, I'll ask my superior. So you know what it said? If you want Radha Dasyam, be accepted in her shelter, then Radharani has her administration. And any application gets processed through the manjaris, and then the head officer, who is Lalita Devi. So you want to enter my realm, my kunj? Have you filled out an application? Oh, I have to fill out an application? Yes, this is the normal procedure. Okay, how do I do it? Then the answer comes, there are 64 limbs of bhakti. Learn what those are, and there are 9 that are most important. And of those 9, there are 5 that are very important. And of those, there are 2. And of those, there are 1. You have to start following those. That's the first part of the application. To do that, you need initiation from bona fide guru. That's how you start getting your bath. Otherwise, Radhe, 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 no initiation, no sadhana, no purification, no sharanagati, no surrender. Then Ravana is chanting Sita, Sita, and we can chant Radhe, Radhe. Radharani is not a doll. So, okay, I will enter my application. I will follow bhakti. I will try. Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. I will learn. I will become a student. First limbs. Tasmat Gurum Prapaddeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Pare Chanishnatam Brahmani Upasamashrayam. I will surrender. Why? Because I have suffered so much. I am ready to be free of that. Beginning stage. I am suffering. Anadi karama phale poribavarnava jale tori bhari nadeki upaya hata sahoya hari tava nama dhuka kori bharaduke dhaki vara bhar. O Lord, I'm calling out to you with loud, pathetic tone. That means bharaduki. I'm lamenting and praying to you, Lord, I've suffered so much in this world. Anadi karama phale, as the result of my bad activities since immeasurable time. Then this is the beginning, seeds of humility. I want to talk a little bit about humility. Someone asked me the other day about humility. We went to Krishna Balaram ISKCON temple, and I had like 6-7 people asking me questions, just trying to see Thakurji. But it's a very important point about humility, and then we'll conclude. So I'm just kind of dancing up to that point, so that it's not just without any ornamentation, because then we can't understand it. So it's all just decoration to try to understand this point and try to develop a proper mood of veneration to your mothers. Varenyam, I venerate you, O my Supreme Mother. So, humility. Proper humility will naturally come if you understand that whatever I am suffering is caused by my own misdeeds. Anadi karama phale. By the accumulation, the ripening of the fruits of all my wickedness, I am fallen in this material world full of suffering. Pori bhavar nava jhale. I am lost in the sea of suffering in samsara. And it's not God's fault. That's a big one for people. That's one of the hardest ones to get over. It's God's fault. Everything bad is God's fault. There is no God. God couldn't exist because of all the evil. That's a tough one. My own problems, other people's problems in the world, anadi karama phale. We talk about collective consciousness. We should talk more about collective sin. We were asking the Vaisnavas, what about the fires in California? And he was talking about the animal slaughter that goes on. Said, you want to do a barbecue, but you don't think any reaction will come? You want to eat mother-baby soup. You want to eat bacon with chicken omelette and chicken nuggets. And you think no reaction will come. How much pain you're causing. If you get one speck of it, you complain and blame God. So anyhow, this is a good step towards humility. Anadi karama phale pori bhavar nave jale tore bhari nade ki upai. I can't see the way to get out. Tori bhari nade ki upai. I can't find a way out. Second step to humility. I am fallen. This is the explanation of Mahaprabhu's 5th verse. The song. Anadi karama phale pori bhavar tore bhari nade ki. I can't find my way out. Imagine you're fallen at the bottom of a 1,000-foot well. And you are confined in this little space. And you're in the water and you're cold. And there's no ladder. And there's a little bit of light that comes in. And if you roar and shout all day long, it's like nobody hears you. Are you proud then? Where did Kamsa's pride go? Kamsa was tied up to the tree. And Purnamasi said, he wants to enter Vrindavan. So she told the Brijabasis, he's in between Mathura and Vrindavan. There's a place. I don't know if you've been there. It's very sweet. It's a very sweet pastime. So this Kamsa, big demon king, you know what Kamsa did? Krishna's first 6 brothers, he was the 8th. Balaram transferred to Rohini's womb, and then Krishna appeared in Braj. And he appeared there in 4-hand form, Narayan, and then he took birth from the womb of Mother Yashoda simultaneously. He's God. But you know what Krishna did to Devaki's first 6 sons? When they were born, he took each one and threw them on a stone until they were dead. That's Kamsa's mentality. Why? Because the demigod said that the 8th son of Devaki would kill me, so better get a head start on them. Demonic mentality. So that same Kamsa was now given a, little rope put by a tree. As a very old lady. And Purnamasi Yogamaya said, she told the Brijabasi, this is some demon who I'm purifying. When you're going out that way to Mathura, we should give some compassion, let them eat something. So any potato peels or pumpkin peels, you can give him a little pile. And he can eat those. And gradually he can change his mentality. Alright, so Radhe Radhe chanting like Kamsa, Sita Sita chanting like Ravan. Sankachud was chanting Radhe Radhe day and night. Sankachud came during the Ras, Vasanti Ras, and when different explanations. And he was big, strong, bulletproof bodybuilder, like 1,000 Schwarzeneggers. And he caught up some gopis and put them on his shoulders and started to run towards Mathura. He thought Krishna's gopis were like fruit in an orchard. And he could enter the orchard and pick the fruit and run off. But who is the protector there? Krishna, Balaram. Very easily Sankachud was defeated. So, humility, first step of humility. My suffering is caused by myself. Second step of humility, I don't know how to get out without divine intervention. And divine intervention comes of its own sweet will. So third step of humility, learn to pray. And if that prayer is sincere, then that prayer should lead to a tear. Fourth step of humility. And if you can learn to cry for the mercy of God, then those tears become your bathing water. And Lord Nityananda says, Ek bar dekh le chak se jal. If I see, who is Lord Nityananda? Motherly love, mercy, sweetness. If I see one tear form in the eye of a sincere devotee, practicing bhakti, chanting Gaur, I will give them all spiritual potency. What potency? You're in the well and all of a sudden you see, someone answers, someone comes to the top, someone passes you down a rope. Come on up. But you still have to climb. Or you at least have to hold on very tightly and they can pull you out. No need climbing even. We don't need to climb, but you know what we need to do? Dharanitai charana dukhani. Tightly grab hold of the lotus feet of Nityananda, the root of all gurus. Nitayar karuna habe, braje Radha-Krishna pabe, dharanitai charana dukhani, dharanitai charana dukhani. Without your mercy, Lord Nityananda, I cannot enter Braj, I cannot achieve the service of Radha-Krishna. Therefore I tightly hold on to your lotus feet. Oh, my Guru will be Nityananda, he will come, I will hold his lotus feet. What is the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda? Guru Parampara. We don't say, I want to hold on to your face, I want to choke your neck. I want to hold on to your lotus feet. That is Guru Parampara. Therefore we hear the love of Mahaprabhu's 10 million mothers. How is it 10 million? 10 million gurus will come in this world, each embodying the mood of love of Mahaprabhu, which is Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is the moon. Mahaprabhu is the sun. Moon reflects the energy and the light of the sun, but it's very soft and gentle and nourishing. And everyone wants to run, Gora, 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 Gora. We talked about this in Lithuania. This is our Gauranga seminar. Gora, 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 Gora. We need to learn Nitai, 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 Nitai. You want to go to the sun, you're going to fly there with your wings and get burnt. Be in the cooling shade of the moon. Therefore we sing Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushital Je Chayai Jagata Judhai Je Chayai Jagata Judhai Hena Nitai Vine Bhai Radha Krishna Paitenai Dridha Kori Dhara Nitai Pai Dridha Kori Nitai Pai. Lord Nityananda's lotus feet are cooling like 10 million moons. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala. Koti means 10 million. Chandra means the moon. Shushitala means cooling. And what is that? The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. So then you can progress in bhakti. For me, humility means our aspiration is so high and on our own we have no capacity to attain it. Zero. Without your mercy, Lord, I have no hope. If I do not develop humility, if I do not pray and cry and beg for your mercy, then we say, there's Hindi sayings about this, but in essence, as it has been, it shall remain. Enjoy. As it has been, it shall remain. Jeti meri, seti meri. Stay in this world, in the shark-infested waters of material life. Sometimes you'll be a predator, sometimes you'll be a prey. But if we don't learn to pray, we don't have a chance. Therefore, develop humility. Therefore, Mahaprabhu says, Ashlishava Padaratang Pinastumam Adarshanang Marnamahatam Karotuva Yata Tata Vidadhatu Lampato Mad Prana Natastu Sa Eva Napara. However you choose to treat me, you are my master, my beloved. I am yours. You may be a lampat. You may be crooked. You may be harsh. But I know you are pure love embodied. I'm praying for your shelter and mercy. Therefore, surrender is not only the doorway, surrender is the altar. Because the 8th verse is all about surrender. There's many more beautiful talks and topics about this. It's Ekadasi, so it's nice to meditate on this. If we have time before we go, we're going tomorrow, it'd be nice if we had one more class. This is my job. So if you're interested in any connection with me, you should want to facilitate me doing my service, which is to speak about these things. Everything else is secondary, books and publication and distribution of the message is most important. But the topic I want to lead into is what is the Manjari mood, and how the small, the junior, can serve the great. It's very soft and sweet. Think, right? The love of 10 million mothers, Ekadasi Devi, Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radhika. We can have the chance to serve her in a very junior way, but I have been completely bathed, now I can bathe you. Tarunyamrita snan, Karunyamrita snan, Lavanyamrita snan. Now I am pure. In my pure form, I can serve the form of pure love. Without a pure form, how can I serve the form of pure love? Then we'll just enter into Ravan state again, Kamsa state again. But when we can enter into pure form, we can when we can enter into pure form, we can learn to serve the form of pure love. So let us pray for that. It's very sweet. We see that in our Vaisnavas, we see that in our Guru Varga. So strong, so powerful. But yet, to Srimati Radhika, they're just very gentle, young, little girls. In this world, they take on strong, powerful forms because it's necessary in this world to battle with Maya. Param Gurudev, great hero. He is our original superhero in our recent times. Param Gurudev, his glorification verse is Ati Martya Charitraya. That means he was like a superhero. And if you hear about his life story, he was a superhero. Without any need for external magic. A real superhero. Our Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, our Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj at 140 years of age, old, simple man sitting in a basket with his eyelids drooping over his eyes. He jumped out of his basket, he was dancing ecstatically for a month in Mahaprabhu's appearance place. They're not superheroes. But to Srimati Radhika, they're little manjaris. Both is there. Because how do you approach the Supreme Mother without that soft, humble spirit of love and service? Okay? Vanchakalpataribhasya kripa sindhu